Well, the NFL says it is calling foul on the N-word. A new rule expected to be voted on this month would assess a 15-yard penalty for using the racial slur during a game. A second offense would mean an ejection of that player. All of this comes after high-profile scandals exposing a certain culture in NFL locker rooms. But does the rule really make a difference on the field and off? Joining us to discuss, HLN contributor Jason Johnson. Jason, always good to see you.
Good to be here.
You know, you wrote a really good op-ed for the New York Daily News, and I want to read a portion of that for our viewers. You said the notion that a word representative of 400 plus years of slavery, rape, and government-sanctioned violence can be assuaged by a 15-yard penalty is downright offensive. Jason, I really do agree with you, but I think some may say, isn't something better than nothing?
Well, the problem is there already is a something. There are already penalties in the NFL for abusive language in the locker room. There are penalties for abusive language on the field. So, you know, again, this is a solution looking for a problem that's not there. We don't have some massive problem with guys cursing at each other on the field or cursing at referees. And I think that there's a real motivation behind this. It's not about solving racial problems. That's the issue.
But wait, we've heard so many players say the N-word is thrown around in locker rooms all the time. You say that doesn't make it a problem. You actually, in this op-ed, call it a term of endearment in certain cases. Isn't that a double standard on this word? How can that be a term of endearment, even if you say it's a cultural difference?
I think it's like the B word and a lot of other words. It's depending on the intent of the person who's using it. A bunch of women can get together and say, that's my B or this, that, the other. That's the real difference here. We have to be reasonable about what the work environment is that these people are in. Look, if anyone's being abused, we think of Richie Incognito. That guy was over the line. People were obviously uncomfortable and they were complaining and nothing had been done about it. But if that's not what's going on, if you don't have some massive complaints from players or staff members, I think the rule goes too far when we already have rules in place.
So does anything need to be done? Does anything need to change when it comes to NFL culture?
No. Well, there's lots of things that need to be changed about NFL culture, but not about this. I mean, there are rules in place for cussing. Even on the NBA 2K game on Xbox, you actually get in trouble for cussing online if you're playing another player. So obviously, we already understand that there's certain language that's not appropriate. But as far as the players, maybe some sexism, maybe some violence, but I don't think the N-word is really an issue. This is about a bunch of old players who are trying to play the Bill Cosby scold to the younger generation.
Yeah, I mean, why are they doing this? Why do you think this is something that they're putting themselves in front of?
Because the Fritz Pollard committee is made up of a bunch of old black players. And I'm just going to be candid. And they think the younger generation is out of touch, doesn't recognize history, and they don't really want this for the football field. They want to get rid of this word in general, and they think this is a step to doing it. And I think that's ridiculous and unfair.
Well, you said it clearly in your op-ed. It was very well written. Thank you for being with us to share a little bit more about it. Jason Johnson.
Thank you.
Well, Mama Jan is one of the